Hello everyone, Hamas28 here, and today we're back in the world of Reclamation. As you can see, I got a bit more dirt, expanded the farm, and if you take a look over here, you can see we have potato and carrot finally breeded. Easy enough. So for these ones, in case you want to not open the JI, for the potato, you just need to plant the wolfbane and wheat to get a chance for the potato, and for the carrot you just need to plant the snowball and the wheat in order to get, what is this? Carrot. That's what it's called. To get the carrot seed. So that's the carrot and the potatoes ready to go. Now I can add these over here. We will have to do this again just because with one seed we can't make more, right? I'm gonna have to crossbreed it to try and get more, which is what these are for. As you can see, when these are fully grown, they're going to try and breed something, but since they're the same, it's going to produce the same crop. Now, I was going through our book here on AgriCraft, and something to note is actually, let me show you this before even going into the book, is this is what the seed analyzer is for. You put your book in there, your carrot seeds go in here, and then it analyzes it, shows you it, so it has a 2 of 2 mutativity. 1-1 strength, fertility, growth, yada yada. So you can see it's slightly above average compared to our 1-1 plants. But now that you analyze it, it researches the plant like that. See, it says 7 when we put the potato seed, goes to 8. And this is very important. What's the spider doing here? Because it adds more pages to the book here, as you can see. So like with belladonna, it shows you if you mix wheat and belladonna, it has a crop that can happen. And there's another unknown crop here that can also produce it. And then as you go through the pages, you can see all the possibilities. So mandrake can be bred with wolfsbane, potato, and carrot to produce 3 varieties of crop. Snowbells can produce carrot, as you can see here, and if you mix it with water artichoke, you get other stuff as well. And this is essentially what you're going to do. Every time you get new seeds, you're going to add it to the book. That way you can figure out what is the next mutation you can work on. Because as you can see here, if you go to our Plants Galore quest, eventually we're going to try and get all of these. Now the next one we're trying to do is the copper there it is. The cuprosa. I knew it started with CU. The cuprosa seed. And as you can see, it takes wheat and carrot seed to produce it. So we just take our carrot seed here. Come over here. Now we're gonna take off this one. Put your carrot seed. And it's raining. Always raining. But now when the carrot is fully grown, they're gonna try crossbreeding, and then we're gonna hopefully see ourselves get the cuprosa seed. The cuprosa plant, which harvested, as you can see, it produces a copper nugget. And cost per batch, looks like it just takes 1 of the plants, so we're going to need quite a lot of these in order to get copper. But hey, it's a growable copper, which means I don't have to go running around. Let's kill the spider real quick. Turns out you can make a stone broadaxe. It's the same as the stone axe, except you add 1 more cobblestone. And it deals about the same damage as the axe, but it mines in a 3x3 instead of the 1x1. So it makes cutting down these petrified trees a lot easier. Let's see, we have our potato seed. We're going to go ahead and see here. We should be able to breed potato with something. Potato and mandrake can make something. So if we come over here, come to our mandrake plant, which is this one. We can put the potato seeds here. Now when the potato is fully grown, it will try and make something, which could be a brand new plant. Put all this away. Don't need that for now. Now, while the plants are growing, because you can see this takes quite a long time, and eventually you want to get, you know, all of these stuff to 10. That way they're the maxed out plants. So in order to do something related to that, we're going to start working on our passive item generation with bees. So the first thing we're going to do is make a scoop, which is just sticks and one piece of wool, like so. And then we will need the hive, so you take your flimsy planks to make an apiary. Now, using these, you can see we unlock the apiary's field guide. So we can go ahead and add that to our Akashic record. Oh, I need to change this to make the tomb. And, oh, it already gives us one, so it's kind of a waste. But you can see it just tells you, oh, that's how you collect the bees. Let's see, I'm assuming, yeah, we're going to have to start collecting some bees first. Luckily, they do glow in the night, and you collect them like that. So we have a wasteland princess, a wasteland drone, and 3 barren combs. And luckily, let's see, you can see the torches glowing here. At night, the hives glow as well, so it makes it very easy to find them with the minimap because you just look for sources of light that aren't lava. And now we can start producing resources. Now, if you come in here, you can see how to process these. You pop them into the apiary and watch the magic happen. But for these wasteland bees, as you can see, they need dead bushes as their flowers. Now, I broke all the dead bushes nearby, so we have none right here. Luckily, we have a few over here, so this is what we're going to have to do until we get iron. So you pop this guy down. You can right-click to view, put in your princess, put in your drone. Good. They're ready to go. We do have the inclement weather debuff. It's raining. They don't like the rain. They don't want to work when it rains. So they're not going to be doing anything right now, but then you can see they have these slots that will fill up. And if you've ever played a more tech-heavy mod pack, then you're well aware of the complicated bees mod, because a lot of the tech mods, like all the mods, I think uses this, just because it's unlimited resources for essentially no work. Let's see, I don't even know when it's nighttime, because I need to harvest some more of the mandrake. But now that that's good to go, we're going to start getting beeswax and honey droplets out of it. And this one should also get us some dead logs. Now I believe desiccated and dried. Be continuously rebreeding wasteland bees together, and you can start slowly revitalize them. Desiccated and dried bees are slightly better with a higher productivity and lifespan, meaning less maintenance and more combs. Let's see, now that we collected the bees, probably, yep, there we go, we unlocked the rest of the chapter. So bee housing. Now that you have bees, you'll want to set them up in a house of their own, so they can start producing that sweet, sweet honey. An apiary is ideally suited to this task. With easily accessible space for bees, frames, and products, this wonderful little block is a beekeeper's, or if you're feeling fancy, an apiary's best friend. You can use any type of comb to craft an apiary. Once you've located a good spot to set up shop, plop it down your apiary and place your princess in the top slot and your drone in the bottom, and you're off to the races. A princess and drone will combine into a queen, which will produce combs if fully satisfied. If the bar on the left ever turns red, hover over it to see what else the queen needs to be satisfied. So in this case, you know, it's just the weather. We can't control the sky, so not much we could do there. Combs and you. But how do you get honey out of the combs? It's a little too sticky to manually dig out the combs cleanly, and you have much better things to do with your time, I'm sure. Enter the centrifuge. This machine will spin things really, really fast, separating them by density. In this case, your combs into honey, wax, and other potential extra things. That's going to take 5 iron, 2 smooth stone, a chest, and redstone. However, the spinning needs something with a little more oomph than some hot air from burning things. This is where a furnace generator comes in. By taking hot air from burning things, you can generate oomph, or as others like to call it, redstone flux. Just put the generator next to the centrifuge, give it some fuel, and you'll have your centrifuge running in no time. Most combs produce honey and wax, which have their uses. Some will produce special items. Environmental conditions. Bees need specific conditions. Yeah, that's what we're talking about, so that's going to come later. We're not even close to that. Okay, let's see. It looks like nighttime is coming, which means I can start harvesting more bees. Like, see, you can see light over there. I want to make sure I have some food. So let's harvest some more wheat. Let's see, that crop is still growing. This one's still going. I think I just got a message. 1 second. And I did get a message. Oh, they were just responding to me. Alright, let's go grab some more bees. We're gonna have to run through, and this is gonna be spent a good way to waste our time. Endermen love the rain, as you could tell. And we're gonna have to dodge these spiders, they're pretty annoying. So there's a beehive here. We'll see if we can spot any more. And the light goes out. So you can see here, there's a bee here. There's a bee there. One here and here. So let's head east. Grab this one. We're gonna have to breed these guys in order to get more. And it's good to just get a lot of them at the start. And let's see here. We should be able to see it on our mini-map. There's a spider that I don't want to deal with, but it wants to deal with us. Yep, there's the beehive down there. Can I make the water from here? No, it's a little too far. Let's see. Okay, there's one, and then we can run down here. Actually, after this one, I'll leave it alone. The other ones are a bit too far. I don't want to just run all the way out there in the night. We have some other stuff we need to do. Just wish the rain would stop. It's quite annoying. And there we go. And I believe you can build like a little house for the apiary. I think as long as there's no direct rain touching it, they don't mind if it's raining outside. Kind of like a bee house. Alright, go back to our base. We got a couple bees. And just like crops, you do have to breed better bees to increase productivity, increase lifespan, and those kind of modifiers. If you're a big fan of that kind of mechanic, you're gonna love bees. Bees are all about that. But if you're like me and you're just trying to complete the pack, then you don't really have to go too deep into it. It's just something to give you an extra thing to work on if you want to get more productive with your production. They even noted that in the pack that to beat it, you don't need to get every single type of bee, but if you want to make getting resources easier, you can definitely do that and get every single type of bee, because I think every resource you'll need in the pack can be produced by a bee. Alright, let's go to sleep. Still raining. Let's see. Okay, cool. The rain is letting up. So if we come out here, inclement weather. Nope, they're good. They're ecstatic. They love it. They love this weather. So let's see. We're not going to be able to get any of this stuff. You can place frames into your apiary for bonuses to productivity, lifespan, and even change the temperature and humidity of an apiary. Frame modifiers stack multiplicatively and not additively. Okay, why is that locked? Oh, because I haven't done the bee sources yet. And there's a guy coming over here. More rotten flesh. And as you can see, now it's producing dead logs. But looks like just producing one log took out quite a lot of lifespan. So we're going to have to keep breeding these guys. But I believe when it dies, you do get another princess and a drone back. So you don't have to spend too much time doing that. Let's see, what kind of frames are there? Frame, let's see, I could probably do at B. Frame, there we go. Regular frame increases productivity by 25%. Wax frame is 50%. Honeyed frame, does that lower the lifespan by 10%? Or does that make it 10% better? I think that lowers the lifespan by 10%, but they produce 75% faster. The twisting frame does even more, but it increases mutations. So you'll want mutations because obviously if you want them to have higher lifespan and better productivity, they're going to have to mutate a bit. Soothing frame gives them keeps them alive longer by 50%, but they produce slower. Icy frame reduces the temperature, reduces their life by a lot. Temperature change, dry frame, wet frame, deadly frame. I don't see. There must be a reason you want to kill your bees really fast. And restrictive frame, territory 0.5. So it's probably to restrict. Basic frame housing. What is this? I've never seen this before. Interesting. See, still producing. So now we have 2 more barren combs. And what do we use this for? We can cut it with a knife to get beeswax and honey droplets. So we're going to have to make a knife here so we can process these. And this is the manual way to do it before you get the... Do you make a knife? This one, no. This one, knife. There's no wooden knife. There's a flint knife. Let's see, we're gonna have to mine some gravel. And I know just the place to go. There's some gravel right over here. We just need 1 flint. We can use the gravel for other applications as well, such as making the one thing for the alchemy. Let's see, we just need 1 flint. Just need 1 flint. There we go. How do you make a knife? I did this. There we go. Task completed, any knife. Cool. So now we can cut open our honey frames here. And I believe usually you need this to... You can use one to make the book, centrifugent. Yeah, usually I believe the regular crafting for the apiaries is that it takes a barren comb, or any comb. And I'll leave the knife there. So now we have our beeswax. We got a single honey droplet, pretty low chance. 10% and beeswax is 50%. So actually pretty lucky to get the bee sources. Now the reclaimed bees, by continuously rebreeding wasteland bees, you can get them into desiccated and dried. So I believe our queen would have died. So if we come check this out, you can see we now have the wasteland princess and 2 drones and 1 desiccated drone. So that's pretty good. I believe that's what we want, right? Let's see. Yeah, 1 desiccated. So we just have to throw in another wasteland princess, throw in another drone, and they get to work. So now to increase this productivity, we just need more apiaries. Let's see here. Apiary was down here, and it's just these Caminite blocks and wood, Caminite bricks. So we can make another frame. And since we have 2 more queens, we're going to want to make some more. Oh, don't want to do that. Where's the... Are we all... That's it. We don't have any more wood. Can't use this axe. Has to be the regular axe. Okay, should be good enough. And our bricks. Let's see, how did I make Caminite brick? Caminite brick. Smelt the Caminite blend. And Caminite blend was sand and this. So you should have some in here. Let's put away this stuff. Cook that into some bricks. And for the in the meantime, we'll place down this apiary. Get this one going. Let's see, I believe sometimes they do get angry if they're too crowded. Like if they see that there's too many other apiaries nearby, they don't like it. But at least for this, I think the application should be fine. Okay, and make our last apiary. Now I do wonder how you're supposed to get more queens. Let's see, like that. There we go. They're all happy because I believe it said in here, yeah, desiccated and dried bees are slightly better with higher productivity and lifespan. Let's see, rocky and robust bees are used to cooler climates, but you could breed better tolerances into them. Specialties are only produced when a bee is ecstatic. Let's see, there was a thing I saw here about breeding. I forget where it was. It had something to do with the queens. The microscope is a great way to get rid of unnecessary drones. What is that? Okay, that's a definitely later game item. Maybe it was in the book. First steps. Bee housing. Combs in U. I know I read it somewhere. I think it had something to do with getting bees. Okay, that one's done. More wasteland drones. So you just keep cycling them like so. And then they keep going. You really only have to take it out when it gets full. Okay, and that's going to give us a pretty much infinite supply of dead logs, which is very nice. And then more barren combs. But to finish that off, so see, rocky bees, rocky queen. Mutations, desiccated and dried queen. Requires tough underneath the housing. And then the rocky queen, what does she produce? She produces rocky comb and copper combs, which produces beeswax, honey droplet, and propolis. But that doesn't produce anything else. Amethyst comb. Okay, so the rocky one doesn't give you anything other than stuff we already have, but then some of the other ones do give you other resources. So let's see, we don't need this, the gravel, the rotten flesh, that, or the copper right now. Put away the wheat and that. Let's see if we produced, oh, put the knife down. Let's see if we produced a hybrid, and this is wheat. So we must try again. Grab your crop sticks, put that there, and I forgot to replace this one. That's a little awkward. Let's see, I'll steal it from here. So we can make more potatoes. Let's see, that should work. I think it will process even though these are already full. Yeah, so you can see here it turned into wheat with a fertility of 2, a gain 2, growth 1, mutivity 1, strength 1. Let's see, since this one and this one are grown, they should try to do the same thing. It is night. Well, it's dusk. There we go. So now that the basics for the bee is set up, we're going to need a chest just for the bees. That way we can keep everything separated. Desiccated wasteland. Let's see. Did you guys finish? You did. You're still going. So throw in our wasteland princess, wasteland drone. Take you out. Wasteland drone. Oh, we got a desiccated princess. Nice. So now we have a desiccated queen, which should last a little bit longer compared to her wasteland counterparts. Desiccated wasteland and wasteland. Why? They don't stack. There must be a reason. You can analyze them, but I don't have the item for it. Barren comb. So now that that's set up, we'll continue to work through that. But that's more of like a side option thing. Edible plants done. We're trying to grow copper with the cuprosa, and that will give us 4 more copper. Okay, don't know why you're here, buddy. Very strange. Yeah, he's just teleporting around. But in the meantime, let's make some anointing paste. That's going to take artichoke, belladonna, mandrake, and icy needle, and I forgot to pick the mandrake. Should I risk it? I don't want to risk it. Let's see. We are going to need a copper ingot, straw, and 2 wool. We don't have any wool, so I can't make the earmuffs, so I'll have to wait until night falls. Let's see, did these produce any? So you can see this one has a mutativity to 1, so you want to harvest this guy. I wanted to harvest it. Why did it do that? Let's see, this is all 1-1, so we'll get rid of you. Mandrake, so this one failed. This one has some good mutations, and this one is the same. And that's essentially how you just continuously do agricraft until you can get much better mutations, all the way up to 10-10-10. But for now, we're going to need to wait till night to get the mandrake, so let's work on salt and sulfur. Now that you have your hemoglobic fluid, you can use it as a solvent in your liquefaction cauldron to liquefy copper. Let's see. So take this out. Then we need to break this to get rid of the sal ammoniac. Take our hemoglobic and put in some copper. And don't forget to heat it up. Let's see, I wonder how much this will actually consume. Okay, so it looks like it's 50 millibuckets for 1 copper. So 1 bucket is going to be 20 copper ingots. And that makes alchemical sulfur iron, which is here. Got it. Now we still need alchemical salt minerals. You get this by calcifying charcoal or recalcifying a large amount of strata salt. So here's our calcifier. We have a lot of alchemical salts. Let's take that out. And we're going to use the charcoal to cook the charcoal. So we're going to do 1, 2. And then I'm going to put the rest in here. And that's going to make, what is this? Alchemical salt minerals. This one is alchemical salt strata. Salt extracted from the strata, that is sedimentary rock, soil, clay, and so on. Okay, so we have that. Grab more of our iron. So now we have our alchemical sulfur iron, and that's completed. Now we should be able to make iron ingots. Throw the iron, alchemical sulfur, mineral alchemical salt, and alchemical mercury into the incubator. So sulfur, salt minerals, take out our salt dirt, the alchemical sulfur, iron. Then we do need more mercury, and luckily I had some left over. Bread converts 1 to 1, so it's very useful. We're gonna need some more charcoal. Throw this in here, and we're going to produce iron. I think we're only going to get 5 ingots though, because we only have 5 mercury shards. Yep, it's 1 to 1, takes 1 of everything. So we are going to have to plant a lot more wheat. There's other ways to get the mercury, but wheat seems to be the most efficient way to do it. Let's see, what is this? Wheat. Wheat again. Useless. Useless. But at least you get a lot of it. That in here, grab our wheat, convert this to bread. And continue cooking. And grab our iron ingots. So now we can make a watering can. Now that you have access to iron, you can make a watering can. Higher tier versions exist and are much better, but the basic version can still speed up the growth of crops. And this is from Mystical Agriculture. How much faster does it actually speed up the growth, and how often do I have to do this? It takes a bowl and bone meal, 4 iron, It's not the most expensive, but right now, using anything for iron is a little expensive. Mob Safari. What did this unlock? In this new post-apocalyptic world, you've realized that it might be a good idea to document what life forms exist just in case it happens again. To do so, you're going to need a camera, some film to print onto, and some way to turn that film into photos. Oh, cool. Interesting. It's a fun little side quest. Drigmes, yeah, so that's from one mod. This is vanilla stuff. More vanilla stuff. More vanilla. Vanilla mobs. Some of this is vanilla. No. What are strays? Do I not know what a stray is? Zoglin. That's definitely modded. Interesting. Okay, but we still need to make our anointing paste, so I guess we'll wait until nightfall to get that going. I do have to break this guy when he's done, because I don't want wheat. It is useful though. He has a growth of 2-2. If we can continue getting that up, that's good. Like, since this wheat is 2-2, it's better than this one. So when he's fully grown, I can break him and swap him out with this one. And then possibly this one, yeah, because this one has a mutativity of 2-2. You want it higher because then it increases the odds that you get better mutations here. So I'll swap this one here, and then if this comes to be a carrot with better stats, then you can swap the carrot as well. But we still have to wait. Let's see. We're about... Do not look directly at the sun. It's because I'm holding the magnifying glass. That's hilarious. Boink. Do not look directly at the sun. I like that. That's cute. Let's go check on the bees. And then I'll probably just cut to when we have some of the materials at night so we can continue working on this. And we're back. We have 4 mandrake roots. So now we can combine this into our anointing paste. Bam. Now we can make a cauldron. So a cauldron takes a lot of iron, which we do have more of because I made more. Bam. Now we must turn it into, we must anoint the cauldron. Now that you have a bit of iron, you can make a cauldron and anoint it to make a witch's cauldron, a magical insulated vessel for brewing all sorts of witchy goodness. Fill it with 3 buckets of water, place it over a campfire, and it'll start boiling. Okay, so let's see. I believe that's what this is for. Witch's cauldron. Put it over a campfire and fill with water. Why is there a creeper right outside the door? Hey man, this is not a public area. Alright, fill with 3 buckets of water, like it said. And it should start boiling. This reminds me of Eidolon reprised. I don't like that it reminds me of that mod. Brewing. One of the essential skills for a witch is being able to create brews in her cauldron, and kettles. This book aims to display some recipes for brews. The kettle, similar to the cauldron, is a type of brewing apparatus. It's a little tiny. Requires altar power and sufficient heat. But we're not making that one. We have the cauldron. The witch's cauldron is an upgraded cauldron used to create magical substances and custom brews. Work in progress. The cauldron must be placed over a heat source to boil and may require altar power. If a cauldron does not have sufficient heat or power, the brew will turn brown and spoil, which must be removed. Use anointing paste on a regular cauldron to turn it into a witch's cauldron. A brew may be created by filling the cauldron with water and dropping the correct items into the correct order into the cauldron. So this is exactly like Eidolon. Not a fan. Not a fan in the slightest. But hey, it gets us to saplings. With a little bit of magic and a reinforced witchy cauldron, you can make a potent mutagen, potent enough to mutate those dead bushes you've been seeing around into actual saplings. Mutandis. No power. Belladonna, water artichoke, and bone meal. Belladonna, artichoke, and bone meal. Belladonna, artichoke, bone meal. Something's happening. It's spinning. It's looking good. It didn't turn brown. That's a good sign. Nothing's happening. How long does it take? Right click it? Oh, it worked. Cool. Mutandis. What are the pillagers doing here? The hoe is gonna hear about this. So let's use this on a dead branch and see if we can get a sapling. Alder sapling. Cool. Any sapling. More mutandis. Let's make some more trees. Rowan sapling. Spruce. Birch. Our inventory is filling up. We have room for 3 more saplings. Acacia. Another spruce. And another rowan. We have room for 1 more. Let's see, I don't have any villagers, so those pillagers should stay away. Another birch. How are we rolling the same ones? And cherry. Cool. Not sure how we're rolling the exact same saplings when there's so much variety in saplings that can be chosen. Let's see, where did the pillagers go? They were right over there a second ago. Maybe they fell down a hole and got lost. That would be the best solution. Because I don't see them anymore. Any AoE tool. With the reintroduction of actual saplings to the world, you might want to make slightly better tools than the basic pickaxe and axe you're used to. The hammer, excavator, and broad axe can break blocks in a 3x3 area, and the broad axe breaks in a 3x3x3, making terraforming and general resource collection much better. Signpost travel. This pack contains Via Romana, a sign-based fast travel system. In order to build a fast travel using signs, you must first build a path and traverse it before you can teleport across it. Shift left click on a sign at the start of your path, then shift left click on a sign at the end of your path. Once you start pathing from one sign to the other, you will need to follow a player-made path. If you deviate, you'll stop building the fast travel route and have to backtrack. Once linked, just punch the sign and you'll fast travel. Cool. Not sure why we're gonna have to fast travel. Witch's Oven. The Witch's Oven can be used to distill saplings into special magical fumes, which are especially potent in a variety of magical rites. It's gonna take more iron. A lot more iron. We need at least 12. Which I do not have. But I believe... No, we don't have any more dirt, so I'm gonna have to steal this dirt. I forgot that's waterlogged. Put that here. Let's see. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's still 6 farmland. And let's plant these trees. We'll plant them... We'll put them over here. So we'll put 1 tree here. Put some space in between them. Here and here. Acacia goes there. Spruce here. cherry, rowan, alder, and birch. So now we have real wood. A lot sooner than I thought. I thought it would take a lot longer to get real wood. I'm glad it didn't. Now I don't have to go hunting these little trees all around the place. We could just grow trees here. We'll put away the remaining saplings. We're gonna put away some of our crops we grew. And we're all set. And you can see here, some of the plants did mutate, as you can see. Mutate in very good ways. This one's 2-1. So we actually want to break this carrot. And you can see, we want the one that has a lot higher values. So we replant like this and put this carrot seed here. And this carrot seed does have 2 and 2, so we will keep it just because we can keep... I thought I heard something. We can put it over here, that way you can use it later. But as you can see, this one has a bunch of 2s on it. Now this one has a bunch of 2s, and they're both dominant traits. Which means the crop that grows out of the parents, the child that grows from these parent crops, is going to also have much better stats. Which is very nice. Let's see. Let's see if we... Enchanted, regular... Let's do the spruce and see if we grow. Perfect. It is a bit annoying. It says the broadaxe does 3x3x3, but if you look up, it doesn't do a 3x3x3. It just does a 3x3 by 1. So let's see. We're gonna need more iron, which means I'm gonna need more hemoglobin fluid, which we should get. I think I have 2 more, right? Yes. 1, 2. So you take this guy, you put him in here. Take out this one in there. Let's see. We only have 1 iron. Actually, we have 6 in here. So the issue is we need more mercury, which we can only get right now the easiest way from wheat. Let's continue harvesting our plants. Let's see, how are you doing? 2, 2, 1, 1. That's better than this one. 2, 2. Yep, put you here. Good. And night's falling, which means I can harvest this guy again. I'll turn you into fertilizer. Make some more bread. So we can turn that into more mercury. See, another bucket of hemoglobin fluid. Throw that in here. Turn this guy back on. And the mercury is cooking. We'll have more iron. And then next episode we'll start on the witch's oven and we'll get here to grass. Not as green as I'd like. Let's see, gold leaf, ritual of the forest, and a fume funnel. And then really all that's left here is getting straw to make the rich farmland. Which I probably want to get, but it's a little bit annoying. Because we'll need a bunch of straw, and we can't grow it yet, because we don't have access to straw. Wait, how do you get straw? Straw bale. Yeah, you cut rice. Or bamboo blocks. So we can't really get a lot of it. Dry plant fiber obtained by cutting grassy crops and plants with a knife. But hey, we got trees, we got bees. We're getting there. And we started the resource generation. As you can see, it did open up the other stuff with the tertium and prosperity shards. I think this is going to be a further on. Let's see, stone seeds, prosperity shard. Prosperity ore. How do you get these? Copper nuggets on a cutting board. Gives you a 15% chance. That's disgusting. That is definitely something you need to automate. For a 15% chance, that means you have to constantly have that running to get the prosperity shards. But it pays off in the end. because through mystical agriculture, you can grow literally every resource. Seed, nether seed, stone seeds, dirt, deep slate, wood, ice, and once you have these, you truly have infinite resources. I think it's even faster than the bees. You'll need to breed nature bees for the nature essence. So it does have a little interplay there. But in the meantime, I'm your host, Hamas28, and I'll see you guys next time.